Good evening, everyone. Can anyone see me? Yeah,
Yes, it's visible.
yeah. So today I'm going to only moderate the con call. So before I begin, this is the new report what we have started on a every day for gold and silver. So Nirmal Bang is tied up with IBJA, which is the Bullion Association of India, having 7,000 members. So we are making this report and we are publishing it daily on our WhatsApp group also, and we email this report also. So in this we cover in depth demand, supply, and news, and what is happening in the international market regarding gold and silver. And we flash the news, and we update what's going on in Dubai, what's going on in ETF. So you can refer to this report. Every day at around 8:45 we come up with this report. So first, let us talk about bullions. What is happening in bullions? Why suddenly bullion shot up? So yesterday there was a speech by Federal Reserve Chairperson Jeremy Powell indicating that the US economy is going to face a lot of challenges going forward and the outlook doesn't look very rosy. So that led to a major correction in Dow Jones, and in line with that, even the Asian markets today corrected. And whenever you see risk aversion, gold prices tends to move up along with the silver. So gold and silver both rose today on the back of this reason. The very important development which also took in the gold market yesterday was Russia. Russia's even in this kind of market, yeah, Russia's central bank's gold reserve shot up by $126 million. So it rose up by 6.5% on a month-on-month basis. This is very positive news for gold, that even if in the time of crisis where generally people don't buy gold, Russia is still buying gold. Their foreign exchange reserve also rose and their gold buying also rose. So that is one positive news. Another news which was very positive was the ETF holding. So yesterday was the continuous from last 2 weeks. Gradually the ETF holdings of gold are moving up. So all this makes me believe that till we have this risk aversion, gold prices are likely to remain buoyant and can test levels of 46,500 to 46,600 on MCX from the trading perspective. We are not expecting a sharp up move immediately. The reason for that is that the lockdown is likely to get released, and whenever that takes place, you will see some scrap gold coming into the market and suppressing the prices. So, and India and China demand is already weak. So this is the view on gold and silver. Silver also, for the trading perspective, 43,600, 43,650 are the levels what we are eyeing during the evening session. Not above that. We are not expecting a sharp up move. So today, what is happening after 500 falls, we have to see what is happening in the Dow Jones. But the fact remains is that the weak outlook by Jeremy Powell is clearly indication that the long-term trend of gold and silver continue to remain bullish. So short term, not expecting major fireworks. In long term, expecting big, big targets. So that was for gold. Now moving away from gold, let us talk about crude oil. So I would like to explain what is happening in crude oil. So forget about, we are not going to take the position in the Niyaman contract, but one must understand what is happening from the demand and supply point of view. So 25 million barrels was the surplus at the start of 30th April. Already OPEC production cut have started, and 10 million barrels is off the market. So that brings it to 15 million barrels. 1.5 million barrel of crude oil production has gone down by US. So that is now 30 barrels of demand is going to come back out of this lockdown relaxing from 25 to roughly 8.5 to 9. So this is a clear indication that the likelihood of oil going to negative during the expiry is very less. The chances are very less. So even though we recommend to trade in June contract, the liquidity might be little poor, but June contract looks poised to test 2150 to 2130. Yesterday during the inventory, there was a first time we've seen a drop in inventory in US. So all these factors makes me believe that the oil prices are not going to go down in the near term, and the trend 1950 2000 for the June contract is the buying zone, and expect prices to move up, not expecting prices to go down. Now coming back from crude oil to natural gas, so I got a lot of query yesterday in natural gas, and for that I would like to explain natural gas fundamentals are not bullish at all. We have not seen significant production cut, and now we are going to enter into a off season. So in the winter in US is at the verge of getting over. So right now, if the heat wave comes up going forward, then the cooling demand will come for the gas. But this is the very slack season for the natural gas. I'm not expecting any major fireworks in natural gas. Sell on rise, 128, 130. Again, one should go short in natural gas. 120, 121 are kind of levels you can see, and even it can breach and go below that. But it is already down, so I will wait for a pullback and I will again initiate a short position in natural gas. Now let us shift our focus from natural gas to the base metals. So now base metals, the fundamental, the trend, if you ask me, it is not very bearish because China is resumed producing goods. China is back, and now the production of a lot of these metals have started to come down. But this US-China trade war talks today also, just before our conferences started, Trump made an aggravating tweet about China. So that itself is an indication that the sentiments can weigh on the metal prices. 403, 404, good levels to go short in copper, and expect it to go down to levels of 397.98. I'm not expecting copper to go below 385 in the current scenario. So trading perspective, I'm recommending it to go short as far as the base metal is concerned. So other metals which can go down along with the week to me, and nickel also you can see levels of 905, 910 during evening or tomorrow morning session. So just risk aversion is there. Because of that, metals are going to remain under pressure, but the trend in metals is not very bearish. The production cuts are started and China is again back in business. So most of the China is resumed their business normally. So this is the trend so far. If anyone has a question, they can ask me. I'll be answering your questions. On the chat, you can ask me and I will answer your questions. Yeah, I got a question from Anup Sina. Sir, is there any chance that the natural gas will also go into negative? Crude oil cannot, but the problem with the natural gas is the storage. Okay, so in crude oil, people can store crude oil in the tankers, but what about natural gas? Right now, I don't think so. The scenario is so bad that the prices are going to go in a negative. I'll explain about this kind of event. Okay, first, what happens now? These are called black swan events. Nobody expected oil to go into negative $30, $40, and it did. But now everyone is expecting that again it will go. So yesterday there was a circular by CFTC that there can be a. So now CFTC is trying to clear the stance that what happened in crude oil that can happen to other commodities also. So people will not blame them. But the fact is, I don't think so. It's going to happen now. Crisis comes when everyone is not expecting one. Now everyone is thinking whether the negative price can again come back. I don't think so. The likelihood of that taking place, no. As far as the second question, the question is from Bhavna and Abhishek Chakravarti. They both are asking same. Can we short gold? So the very answer for that is one should wait and see what is the opening of US stock markets. So if today also after yesterday's fall, the fall continues. Right now, Dow futures are showing a minus 10, 15 points. So not in much in a negative territory. But if it again goes down to 150, 200 points at the start of the opening session, then I would not recommend to go short. So like I had been reinstating to everyone that in short term gold should not move up. But it is just yesterday's Jeremy Powell's speech which has led to a short covering and some bit of buying. So wait for the evening session. I will give short call if it is required. If the US stock markets is recovering, then I would definitely recommend to go short, because the one big factor right now, negative factor, which that apart from Russia, no central banks are buying gold. And second factor is, when the lockdown is lifted, people are not going to rush to buy gold. They are going to buy essential things. They are going to buy other things. But I'm not going to rush and, okay, go. I'm not going to get gold from tomorrow, so let me buy gold. ऐसा भी नहीं हुआ है कि the monsoon has onset has taken place, good crop has come. So I don't think so. That kind of scenario has come. So the moment this relaxation of lockdown takes place, you will definitely see gold going down. So evening session, I will give a call if there is a short strategy. Don't preempt. Right now the trend is strong. Don't go against the trend right now. The third question is from Masood Alam. Sir, I know this is not the right, no, this is the right platform to ask even about the USD INR. But if you ask me what is going to happen now, the government has come up with a stimulus package of more than $250 billion. So in the history of India, modern India, we have not seen government coming up with such packages. Even during the 2008 crisis, the government did not came up with a huge packages. But right now, already our fiscal deficit is 5.5% of our GDP. And with this package, it is going to further expand. So just because yesterday there was a positive announcement, we saw our currency got appreciated, but I don't see Indian currency going below 75 at this point. 75, 20, 75, 30 are buying zones. You can expect by May end 75, 80, 75, 90. This is my view for the USD INR. The next question is from our regional head, Calcutta regional head, Mr. Joydeep Mukherjee. China is opening up. What is your view in copper? Yes, Joydeep, the China opening up, where 50% of the consumption takes place in China. China's export data was also pretty encouraging, and China's and Peru's and Chile's copper production is also started to decline because of the low prices. So copper, my view is 385, 390 is a buying zone. Right now, if the sell-off in the US stock market continues, it can go down a bit. So for trading perspective, I've recommended short and expect it to go down to the levels of 397, 396. But our broader term outlook continues to remain optimistic going forward. Another question is from Abhishek Chakraborty. From last 10 to 15 days, crude oil was range bound. What trade we suggest our client for 1 or 2 months? The trade is, Abhishek, whenever it goes down, you should buy. That is my view. So I know there is a lot of fear right now, and I don't know whether lockdown 2 will start in US or not. Again, if they are opening up, and again if the lockdown starts, if the cases surges. But if that doesn't happen, I think oil should remain positive. 1900, 1950 for the June contract, good levels to go long, and 2150, 2200 are the levels what you can see going forward. Another question is from Bhavna, asking that the volume in gold and silver would appreciate if we can get the 70 to 100 rupees call both ways, at least 8 to 10 times. So Bhavna, it is basically not possible to capture possible. I have already told my team today that since we are not open up the May contract for crude oil, so increase the frequency of the call in gold and silver. But the feedback what I'm getting is the movement is very limited. So like for example, if I'm giving a call for 100 rupees, so 50 rupees should be my stop loss. So the moment I give call, immediately the stop loss will hit, or it can go up by 50, 60 rupees or 70 rupees. The analyst will book the profit. But if the 2-3 stop losses are getting hit, again we will start getting complaints. So little difficult for me to give a 100 rupees call, but we will certainly increase the frequency of the call provided the movement is there. So I have already spoke to Harshal and Devidas today that if possible increase the gold and silver call, because crude is now off the May contract. There is one more question which I'm getting, sir. Can we see good fall in nickel prices from here? So like I said, it is subjective, not a good fall. Same, Indonesia has declared production cut in nickel. So we are not going to see a great deal of correction. Maximum 875, 880 it came, and again it rose to 930, 935. Remember what is happening in all the metals is that the producers are finding very difficult to produce at the low price. So they know that going forward the demand is going to remain relatively slack. So they are all are cutting production. So that is helping all the metal prices to remain at relatively higher level in spite of this lockdown. But this lockdown is gradually going to be lifted everywhere in the world. So that's why we are not very bearish. And I don't see a sharp fall. Maximum, 885, 890. These are the levels it can test to constantly lasting over there. So we will definitely tell you if there is a buy call. But right now, the trend remains little weak. I think I've answered most of the questions, and we are going to reduce the frequency from every day to 2 times or 3 times in a week. We will let you know the schedule. Please join. Even though right now the movement in the commodity market is little slack, but we don't know when it improves, and we have to be informed in order to service our clients better. Whoever is for example, you heard about crude today, you heard about gold, silver today. The same thing you can share with the clients who are doing trade in it. Even though they are not doing trade, you can explain that what is going on in the market, and you can get a hold of your client. And like I said before, I would appreciate the new prospective clients meeting, the HNI clients meeting on Zoom or on con call from all regions, RMs. Please do that. Take a time, and please, we can fix up the client meeting also. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I hope I've added some value.
Thank you so much, sir. Take care.